Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skibowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Here we are, morning.
Good morning. All right, so today you brought up a word, seasonality.
Seasonality.
Yes.
Seasonality. So what does that mean?
Right.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
I just brought it up. I didn't think I was going to talk about it.
'Tis the season. It's the time of the season.
So, in the real estate world, seasonality has been historically pretty easy to predict. So what does it mean? I've used it's a sine curve going back to my electrical days.
Yeah.
Where the real estate market takes off in the spring, tends to slow down in the fall.
Right.
That's kind of the layman's term for seasonality. We're busier in certain times of the year, so it's more seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, the market takes off March, April, and then we start to see numbers slow down in the fall of the year.
Right.
So interesting, I pulled this article and researching for today, and we'll show it up for the camera. Look at that.
Well, there you go.
Can you see that? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Our cameraman over there, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. For those on the radio, you have to watch YouTube to see the graph, but basically this is 49 years of average monthly price movement.
Okay.
So prices begin January. The price appreciation is relatively low, 0.12.
Okay.
These are all percentages of month over month.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up as high as almost 1%, so 0.88 in May. So that's the peak of price appreciation. And then it falls through the remainder of the year, beginning September, October, November, December. It's back almost to the same as January.
Yeah,
so those months are slower.
It goes right in line with the busy time of
the
year.
Busy time.
Yeah.
And some of that is our whole supply-demand thing.
Yeah.
Right? And
sense.
I've been explaining to folks because we're seeing the curve, the angle of the curve decline. It doesn't mean prices are dropping, because you hear people saying that, well, I'm going to wait for prices to drop, or prices are dropping. Well, what is really happening is the level of appreciation is decreasing. So the angle of the curve is flattening. So, for 2 years, we saw nothing but 10%, 15% price appreciation year over year. So that means the curve is really steep. Now we're seeing that flatten. We're seeing 3-4%. Well, a home that maybe, and I'm going to use 100,000 because the math's easy, right?
Right.
1 year it's 100,000. The next year it's 115,000.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now what we're really in that same house, 100,000 is now like 105, not 115. Notice I did not say it's 95.
Yeah, it's not going backwards.
It's not going backwards.
Right.
But the level of appreciation is starting to flatten. So, you've seen a lot of people, and we'll talk about, specific inventories to Kosciuszko County, but sellers need to price right today. They do. The days on market is beginning to slightly tick up.
Oh, really?
Slightly tick up. I'm not saying we're going to 6 months, but we had things that were listed and you were getting multiple offers in 3 hours and they were gone in a day, right? You listed it, they were accepted and gone in a day. That still happens.
Okay.
Not as frequently as what it has been over the last couple of years.
Sure.
So, this seasonality concept, we need to expect that the market is gonna slow this time of year. And it's hard for me, a hard charger. I want to go. I want to sell. I want to list.
Right.
And it's hard now. It's like, ooh, what am I doing? I don't have, my calendar is not full with showings or with appointments, which, as an agent, now what do? I market. I look at catch up on all the things that I haven't done, that I've been pushing to the side, catch up on it and use this time to get ready going into the next season. Now, I'm not saying give the year up, right? I mean, we're the end of September.
Yeah.
The year is not over. We still have a whole another quarter to go.
Right.
And homes sell year round.
Yeah,
homes do sell
because
year
it goes
round.
back to your why.
It goes back to your why. People have to buy. People have to sell. Whether it's seasonality, whether we've got a graph that says, well, this is the peak time, and this is the time to get the reality is, if you need to move, you're going to move.
Yeah.
during the last quarter of the year. You're going to move in October, November, December, even though it's miserable to move with a lot of snow on the ground.
Right?
It's miserable.
I've done it, and you're right. It is.
It's miserable to have your house listed, when there's snow on the ground, because people come in, they traipse, they drag snow through but we sell year round.
Yeah.
The market moves year round. It's just there's less activity in that time frame.
Yeah, but according to this graph and according to what is happening right now, so we are moving back into, would you say, more of a normal market or normal
I think we're
state?
getting back to it. I think we're getting back to it. So the sellers that are sitting there going, well, I have the only game in town, I'm the only one, that is definitely not the case. There is more and more inventory coming into the marketplace.
And that's been the key word that we've been talking about for the past 2-3 years now. Is like lack of inventory.
Lack of inventory, and then we throw in affordability, and the affordability ties right in with this, the curve flattening. If you're going to sell, you need to be priced to market, not where it was in 2021. I was in 1921. 1921.
1921.
Good Lord, you could buy a GTO in 1966 for $3,600, but you're not touching that today.
I wish I could do it now.
I know.
Boy.
I wish I could do it. So seasonality is definitely coming back into play. I think you'll see the national media start to pick up on that a little bit. There's been so much negative about the market, and after the break we'll talk a little bit about our inventory, and we'll talk a little bit about interest rates and where things are going.
Okay, sounds good. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. And welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skibowski, and we're talking about seasonality, and you said that we're coming back to more of a normal type market, and the graph that you showed is 49 years of history
Right.
And so we're coming back because we've not seen the history that we've had over the past 2-3 years has not looked like this graph at all, but now we're coming back to more of a normal market. Do interest rates have anything to do with that?
I think interest rates do. I think the media, people's just overall feelings, this week the stock market, September's been lousy, right? I mean, they're one day 400-point drop in one day, which for when people are not comfortable with their position financially, they're less likely to go out and make a second home purchase. Obviously, if you have to move, you have to move, right? If your primary residence, if you're taking a different job, if you've extra kids, you need more room, whatever, different location, you're going to buy because you're going to buy. But when for the second home market, which we have a lot of here,
we do,
and the other thing is the Airbnb market. A lot of people over the last couple of years were buying homes and leasing them, Airbnb, VRBO, all of that stuff. Their activity level has declined. So you're not seeing as much in our area, major cities, things like that. I think they're still, if I travel, I look. Why not? But there's a lot of things that go into it. But interest rates is definitely impacting the seasonality, the time of year, going back to that more normal, is impacting what's going on. Inventory and affordability. Over the last couple of years, those are the two terms that we've had that discussion. Inventory, we have zero control of. Affordability, we have zero control of. The fact is, affordability is getting better because there's more inventory. But the real question is, and you don't know until it's happened, statistically, you could go back and look, is the amount of inventory and the demand going to be offset by prices in interest rates? I don't know. We won't know until it's done, predicting that. What I can say is that the fall of the year tends to slow. So this October, November, December. So all is not lost. Sellers, if your houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer, what can you do? If there's no activity, even a price change doesn't do you any good. If there's nobody out looking, you can reduce price, it doesn't matter. So you really need to talk to your agent about what's the activity level look like in general. I can tell you that showing activity has dropped. We have access to some software that tells us showings in the marketplace. Not a lot of showings taking place.
But more inventory.
But more inventory.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting. Why is that? I don't know. Interest rates, I think, do impact that. Right now, 7.5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage.
Right,
with
that's
good
pretty
credit.
high. That's pretty high when it was like 2.75 at one point. It was, or
Exactly.
like 3.25. I mean,
Right.
I refied at 3.25. I don't want to lose that rate, but I have heard people say, hey, if you have to buy,
Right.
and when the rates do drop, because they will sometime.
At
I
some
don't know what they'll
point,
go
they'll
to.
adjust. Yeah.
But then you can do a refi.
You can do a refi. So right now, there are 86 non-lake homes available in the county. That's
Yeah.
all price ranges. All I did is do Kosciuszko County,
Yeah.
active, not contingent.
Mhm.
So active, that's what this means, of which the average price of those homes, got to pull up glasses, $306,000. The median's $285,000, and the max is $800,000 for non-lake listing.
Yeah, wow.
The good news for the average consumer, 21 homes below 200,000.
That's good.
Which, remember back in the day when we were talking, there was a whole 36 properties and there were like one listed, or maybe 3 listed up to 200,000.
Yeah.
There is finally some of that starter home inventory
like
available.
affordable.
More affordable housing.
Yeah.
It still kills me to where houses that used to sell for 70
Right.
are selling for 190.
Yeah, I know.
But those starter home prices are there. So 21 below 200, 25 between 200 and 300. So basically 46 under 300,000. In the dark days, when there was zero inventory, we were talking 50 total. And I mean, and everything was at the higher end.
Yeah.
So it's actually good for potential buyers.
Yeah,
There's
that is.
more to choose from. So, in looking at this, and I know we're getting close to needing to wind this thing up here today, but I did, going back to January this year, and I'm just going to say what the number of listings that were on the market. So January, there was 59. March, there was 93. May, there was 133, right in line with our activity on the graph that we had. Back to August, we're at 109. We're on that trailing.
Yeah.
This data, this is Kosciuszko County data, mirrors what the national stats are saying for 49 years.
Yeah.
Which is why we can say, I think we're going back to a more normal market.
Right.
We're going back to a more normal market. So buyers, all is not lost. All is not lost. Sellers, all is not lost.
Right.
You're just not going to sell and make as much as what you would have if you'd have sold 2 years ago.
But just to hear the words that we're going back to something normal sounds good. Sounds refreshing to me.
It sounds refreshing. We'll see how long it takes us to get there. That's the other thing. All bets are off if we have economic downturn, all of that stuff. If interest rates continue to increase, the good news is the Fed paused 1 month.
Okay.
They don't know if they're going to adjust again. I don't anticipate rates are going to drop anytime soon. Neither do any of the national pundits. They don't expect them to drop.
Okay.
Good news is buyers, there's hope. Sellers, you can if you need to sell. It's still a good time.
Well, that's good. All right. If you have specific questions for Mark, make sure you reach out to him. Your contact information.
Sure. Website, skibowskiteam.com. Phone number is 574-527-0660. Check us out on YouTube, Real Estate in Real Time.
Yep.
Our info is on there as well.
See our mugs on TV. All
Yeah,
right. You've
there
been
you
listening
go.
to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.